America's home cooking. Today I'm just going to talk with you about something that I learned. I had to learn as a young lady when it came to serving foods and stuff, when drinks were appropriate and not appropriate, when they were used and when they weren't used, or what went with what. Before they had bars, or they had bars, but they used to have gentlemen's clubs, and gentlemen used to go there to have a mixed drink and to wind down from work and then head home. So, they didn't bring work to home, which was quite nice. It was real relaxing time. Now, women, if they were going to drink, they would have coffee with sherry. It's a liquor, but not a strong one, but women would have it with the dessert, and they'd have their sherry, and they would have their coffee or tea, whichever one they were having. I'm making coffee for myself right now. I'm making I love this coffee. I'm not going to tell you, I do. I like Casino's coffee. But, so that way, liquor was. Now, liquor was served at the table, but it was usually wine. Now you have rosés, you have white, and you have a Merlot, you really strong ones. Now, I was taught, now these are my teachings, I'm teaching you what I know. If you're going to have a white wine, they recommend a dry white wine to either go with fish or chicken. Veal and lamb, you could use white if you wish, but a rosé would be nice. That's almost a pink one. It's not white, but it's not a Merlot, which is a dark one. The dark ones you usually have with beef or veal, one of the dark meats. That's usually what it goes for, probably with wild game. Beer, that was usually used if people were going to have it, if you were going to grill and have a barbecue or something, and everybody was going to eat around. Beer was very popular at that time. Let me put my coffee up. I'll be right back. So, and one phrase that men used to say, the worst thing in the world is a drunk female. So this is why women would have sherry. They could have wine, but they wouldn't drink so much. But they did have bars at one time that the men were on one side, and then they had a section for the women. So they didn't mingle because there'd be problems, which we can see from today. So it's evident they knew what they were talking about then. And we're moving to the stove now. Now we're going to talk about grades of wine. The Merlots are strong and full of body. But, all right, now when you go to buy wine, you have different grades. And you can tell what kind of grade, because a lot of people don't know. They'll just pick a wine or say something, or let somebody pick what they want. But when a man goes to do it, if you buy a wine that's $20 or $30, what you do is you stir it. This is to ferment, get the air and the flavors, going in the glass. Then what you're going to do is you smell it. If you smell it, if it's a cheap wine, like $30, $60, you should be able to smell like a vinegar smell on it with the sweetness of the grapes. But when you taste it, hold it on your tongue, and you'll be able to taste the vinegar. So this is called poor quality. Now, as you go up in price, this is why I tell you, I'm not going to tell you to buy the most expensive wine. I tell you, try to hit pretty much, good morning, everybody. I try to sit there and let you know, get one that's not real cheap, but sort of hit in the middle of it. Now, when you sit there and you swirl that to air it, and then you take a sip, hold it on your tongue, and when you breathe, you should start to smell the flavor through your nose. Actually smell it. It's really just that good, and it leaves a nice, smooth, almost smooth taste on you. When you get the really expensive wines, when you put it on your tongue, after you swirl it in the glass, to let it air that bit, and you taste it. You will taste the sweetness of it, and you will smell the sweetness and the liquor here, and there will be no smell of vinegar or what they call acids. So the cheaper ones are more acid, and the more expensive ones, as you can see, they go through their grades, will be that vinegar taste or the acid that you actually can taste and smell in your wines. This is why I never tell you to go completely on the cheapest one. I try to get something that is a little sort of in the middle, you know, to make sure that the wine that you're having leaves a nice flavor on your tongue. This is why some wines can cost $200 a bottle and so, because that acidity is not there. So they grade it according to the acidity, and that's how you know how to judge wine. Now, mixed drinks are usually for your cocktail time. That means before you sit down and eat. Remember, I said gentlemen used to go to the men's clubs. Other people that weren't in high society, more middle class and stuff, will go to a bar. Now, the lower class that could not afford it, he would buy liquor and bring it home. So you could see in the different ratios that you go in society, as well as taste and stuff. But mixed drinks are not made to be drinking all night. That is called your cocktail, and that's anywhere from 4 to 5, because usually dinner would be at 5:30. As you can see, I had to learn all this stuff. I didn't just come off my hat in all of this. In liqueurs, these are very sweet liquors. Well, let's say I'm not going to answer any of these because I don't like what you're talking about. If you don't like what I'm saying, then please, by all means, go. I'm not forcing you to listen and learn. Now, liqueurs are very sweet liquors, and they usually come in very small. When you go to serve them, they're in very, very small glasses like this. I have some liqueur glasses, and that's just a treat. Like if you come in from the cold, a little bit of that can warm you up before you go and, take care of what your business when you come in. So all of this is what we learn. Now, how long can you preserve a bottle of wine? If you have it at the right temperature and you have a cellar, you have it on the side. You don't set it right side. You set it on its side to make sure the cork doesn't dry. This is how you do it. They can last a very, very, very long time. I mean, Tony bought a bottle from 18 something, and the room where he put it was cold, and then it went really hot by accident, but we held on to it, praying that it did not change to vinegar. It was the most expensive vinegar we had ever had. It went. Listen, no, you work hard, you make the money, you spend it wisely, you can do it. You're trying to put class. I am talking about the way I was taught and how things were. Now, if you're poor and you move up in finances and stuff and you can afford to go to the men's clubs, then by all means. But if you can't go to a bar and afford it, you have it at home. All right? So your income and how hard you work dictates that. Even to this day, we have the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class, but right now the middle class is disappearing into the lower class, and there is no middle class. You have the upper class and the lower class. Everybody's struggling at this point because of the debt that we are in America, but we'll dig our way out like anybody else. Just remember, that's how it is. If you want to sit there and make it in life, you work your tail off, okay? Some people, like, I'm comfortable at a certain station and that's it. But I was also taught how to move up if I have to, because my mother said you never know who you're going to marry. And if they're in upper class, you have to behave a certain way to get up there. So I know that. But if you're going to be a slob and think the upper class is going to accept you into their world, well, sorry, respect and courtesy go hand in hand. So good morning, all of you. My coffee's almost done and I'll be off of here. So, and it's not race. So you can get off that. I'm tired of all of you with this race issue and your politics and all of that. This is a cooking channel. Women who are in the kitchen have to know these things, just like you have to understand cooking terminology and how to serve and not serve, how to set a place, not throw it on the table and say, help yourself or leave it on the stove. There are certain things that are done, that civility is very important. You can sit there and, yeah, the coffee's about ready. You can climb up, but if you take your guttural ways up there, you're not going to be accepted. If you want to be better, you can be poor and be very respectful and be accepted into the upper class. Your attitude, the way you walk, the way you treat yourself and other people will dictate where you come from, if you like it or not. Yeah, I know I need moderators, but they want to be paid. So I sit there and say, if you see a comment that's rude, you can delete it, because when I try to do it, I won't be able to talk or do the things that I am showing you or explaining to you so you have a better understanding. It's just like women wearing lipstick. If you work at a restaurant, you're washing, you hate lipstick because women don't know how to have lipstick without it leaving all over the glass. That's a very bad thing. Nobody wants to drink after her or anything else. Now, I have regular lipstick on. This is very natural lipstick. There's a certain way that you sit there. If you don't believe me, these have to be this way. You hold your mouth. You don't sit there and leave lipstick on the glass. You just don't. See? You don't leave lipstick. I had to learn that too. Because nobody wants to see glasses, especially after you've had a meal and you see lipstick all over. So that's something else we have to learn. I had to learn all of this, but this is talking about wine and stuff. So a lot of women, you do not know how to do all these things. And you're coming up short because you weren't taught. I was, but this is why. You don't see a man by the window and you're just being stupid. That's all you are. Well, anyway, this was talking about wine, how it was served and how it is. Today it's mingled, but that's why there were bars for men. That's why there were men clubs for men, to have that time to sit there and relax before they came home so there wouldn't be that tension. So everything would be moving smoothly, but men go from there directly to bars or directly home, and he'll have a drink or something there, and she's coming in from work and she's angry. So you could see where the anger and all of this comes from. Good morning, Duke and Dashi. What a name. It's okay. So listen, I'm going to go have my coffee, but this is just about wine. That's basic knowledge that I know of wine. So remember, when you go, and if you're going out to dinner and you order wine for you and your date, when you go to do it, remember to sit there and go to your income. But remember, the cheaper the wine, the more acid you're going to taste in it, like the vinegary taste. The more expensive wines, the really expensive wines are so smooth you can't even taste it, but you can smell and through your nose. Actually, it's like tasting the wine if you hold it in your mouth. So remember that if you're taking somebody out, try to hit like a medium or something. It'd be better for you. And remember, if you're having a beef, you want a dark red wine, usually a Merlot is what they say. A rosé could go for veal or lamb. Chicken can go for that as well. And no, the rosé is for the veal and the lamb. The fish and the chicken is the white, but you can use a light rosé that's like a pink color to go with your chicken if you wish. But basically, the white wine is for the fish and chicken. The lamb and the veal usually go for the rosé. The beef and the darker meats go with the merlot. Always remember that, and remember according to taste. If you buy cheap wine, she will know it. Your date will know it and not be happy. Try to get one, but you understand. And when they ask you to try it, you know what you have to do. When they say you want to try it, yes, don't look like an idiot. You sit there and you swirl it in the glass a little, just for about 30 seconds, very gently. In other words, you're letting it breathe before you get the full aroma. When you go to take a sip, hold it onto your tongue. What you smell here, you'll smell the sweetness. But if you taste or smell that vinegary, you know it's not a very good wine and you have to move up. Okay? So I hope that helps you on your dates with your young ladies. Hi, Roy. For thee? Yeah, you should know, you know. And if you're sitting with your young lady or with your wife, let's say, or well, couples live together now, so, and it's cold outside, you could bring her coffee and bring her a sweet liqueur. They come in chocolate all the way to fruit flavors, and those are really nice. But remember, you put them in a small little glass about this. I'll get one so you can see it. This is a glass for a liqueur. Okay, so if you're sitting and it's cold outside and she wants a little something and you're having coffee, to have a little liqueur with it, get her favorite one. If she likes oranges, they make orange. They make, if she loves chocolate, you probably love the chocolate for her. All right. So the sherry glasses, let me see, what size is the sherry? Hold on, I'll bring you a sherry glass. Now, here are sherry glasses. As you can see, they're different. This is very important for you young men to know. Okay, the sherry glasses. Now, sherry, usually, if you can get it, restaurants usually won't say they have it, but if you ask for it, sooner or later, they'll get it. You know, but enough people have to ask. If she goes to have dessert and she's having coffee, sit there and order some sherry for her to have with her dessert. It's very nice, and that's a lovely way to finish up a meal. But remember, when you order that wine, remember those tricks to help you know where you're going. I've heard too many people just say, oh, I'll order this. They don't even know, but the person who brings it to you, the waiter, he is supposed to open that wine and have you taste it. So that's how it's not drinking it, you have to taste it. So remember those tricks. You stir it, put a little bit on your tongue, let it sit there. And then the smell of it, if you leave it there and you can smell it, you'll smell the acidity if it's not a good one, or if they're trying to get over on you. If it's smooth and you don't actually smell it, you know you've got a good one. So you men, take care. Those are called mixed drinks, and that's at cocktail hour, that whiskey, MLJ. That is usually before you eat, okay? So before you eat, men used to go, and I'll repeat it again, they used to have a men's clubs. This is where men would leave work and go to the club. They could read paper, they could unwind from work, and they would have a mixed drinks. Now, if you're at a party, the mixed drinks are before you eat. Those are called cocktails that you're actually having. That's usually between 4 and 5 because most people eat at 5:30. That's called the cocktail hour. All right. Now, if you go, the people who cannot afford a men's clubs, you sit there and they would go to a bar during that time and have a drink just to wind down before they got home. And some people cannot afford that, so they go home and they have a drink. But this is where men can unwind from work, and if they wish to read the paper or have a cocktail. Some don't, but it's just a place that men used to go. And I remember when I came up here, they had men's clubs. The women barged in on it and destroyed it. And the thing is there were just men there, and men actually had a place to calm down from work, so they didn't take work home, so they could enjoy their family instead of bringing work home and still be like this and then have to deal with that as well. Because when you come home, you've got children, you've got a wife, and she might have complaints because she's been dealing with children all day, or if something happened in the house. But this gives you that half hour to an hour break, so you could find your center, so you could say, okay, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm feeling good because you've had a drink, a cocktail, and you can go home and know that everything's going to be all right. If somebody grabs a bottle and chugs it down, she's nothing but, and in my day, remember, I'm not talking about today because these women are very brazen. I don't go there. We'd call her a slut. Okay? I'm not cooking this morning, this afternoon. My older son and I are going to cook, and he likes to make videos, so he's going to put this in a video. We are going to have boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to season them up. And with it, I'm going to be making some semolina pasta, and we're going to put it with a lemon cream sauce. And then we're going to I'm going to show them very gently how to cook asparagus and know how to work with asparagus so it doesn't sit there and you get the woody part. And show them how we fix asparagus and how fast it cooks. Because if you're not careful with asparagus, you overcook it and it's mushy, and that's not what we want. But that's what we're going to be having today. Next, okay, Whisker, take care. Oh, thank you, Roy. So I might make muffins after I have coffee. If I do, I'm going to try making cantaloupe apricot muffins, but I want to have my coffee and get the wash going because I have a lot of wash I have to do from the week. And I don't know if I feel like it. I'm still sore from all that I did. So listen, I hope this information helps a lot of you young men out there and husbands to understand, because they say men do get upset when they order the wine, so they let the wife or the woman order what she wants. But that's the rule of thumbs with wines and cooking, and mixed drinks are known as your cocktails. And what a sherry glass is, if she's having dessert, that would be very nice. And then a liqueur, if you're at home and she likes chocolate, a chocolate liqueur will go very nice, okay? By the way, she might be more amenable. And you know what I mean, gentlemen. Putty, I haven't seen any news. I haven't even had my coffee. I just made it. Okay. Oh, I got my espresso machine. Yes. I got to learn how to work it. I got it in yesterday. I am so happy. It's a small one, but I like it. And we're going to try to make a different, as I said try because I haven't used it yet. I'm going to try to make a lot of those coffees that I find in that coffee book, because I have a coffee cookbook on different coffees around the world. Right now it's 6 o'clock. I've been up for 2 hours and still haven't woken up. Efren, 5 a.m. So you're an hour behind. That would mean you're central. How do you make your coffee in this little tiny pot? And I use Ticino. 6 here, Amber, you're in my Eastern time. Oh, I have one. I've had it for years, but I haven't been able to have coffee. And I tried mushroom coffee, and then I found out they put coffee in that, and I was still having high blood pressure. In fact, I don't want high blood pressure, so I just said I'll cut coffee out. And I said, well, I guess I'll never use this cookbook. And the next thing I know is they come out with Ticino coffee. And there's no coffee in it, but it's chicory root. Chicory root keeps your heart quiet and your blood pressure down. See, most doctors will tell you to come off the salt for your blood pressure, but they don't realize the caffeine and coffee and tea and power drinks and sodas causes high blood pressure. Atlantic? Oh, you're on the other side, so. So anyway, listen, I hope this information helps you, like I said, gentlemen. So I want you to take care. And next time you go out on a date and you take your lady or your wife to dinner, you know how to deal with that wine situation, okay? Bye-bye, and enjoy your day. I should be back on within an hour or so. I just want to have coffee before I start making those muffins because I really want to make those muffins. So if you keep an eye on me or you're subscribed or joined, you'll hear the bing. This lady's back on, and I'm really gonna make those cantaloupe apricot muffins, and you can't tell me they don't sound good. Okay, so I'll see you in about an hour, hour and a half. I'm somewhere around that range. So take care for now, and I'll see you in a bit.